If you've been following British politics recently, you've probably been thinking, what the hell is going on? We've had not just one, but two resignations of really high-profile government ministers. This man, Boris Johnson, who was Foreign Secretary, and him, David Davis. He was the guy that was running the Brexit negotiations. Good timing. By the way, we should be really clear. Two big names going in 24 hours. This is not normal. But how did we get here? Because last Friday it looked like everything was going so well. It looked like the Prime Minister had managed to sign them all up to her plan on how the EU and the UK are going to trade after we've left.
An RPF proposal will create a UK-EU free trade area which establishes a common rule book on industrial goods and agricultural products.
So we're all good? They've got a plan? That's what it sounded like when one of the main Leave campaigners went on TV.
And one of the things about this compromise is that it unites the cabinet.
Our headlines today. The Brexit Secretary, David Davis, has resigned, plunging Theresa May's government into crisis.
I was the person who had to present it to Parliament, to the European Union, to everybody else. And if I don't believe in it, then I won't do as good a job as somebody who does believe in it.
And that's the problem. There are seriously different ideas inside the Conservative Party about what Brexit should be like. David Davis and the Prime Minister just don't agree. He doesn't want to be as close to the EU after we've left as she does. But losing the guy who's key to the whole Brexit thing? I mean, his job title was Brexit Secretary. That meant serious trouble for the Prime Minister. And the rumours were that things were going to get a lot worse.
But that breaking news from Downing Street, we're hearing that Boris Johnson, in the last few moments, has resigned from the government.
Boris Johnson was the biggest face of the Leave campaign, and he wasn't buying the Prime Minister's plan either. He even said that he'd been going over the details, but they just kept getting stuck in his throat. And all that happened just before Theresa May had to go to the Commons and sell her idea to MPs.
In the 2 years since the referendum, we have had a spirited national debate.
The government needs to get its act together and do it quickly. And if it can't, make way for those who can.
Everything was pretty tense. No one really knew how this was all going to work out. But more men in suits filled in the gaps left by Boris Johnson and David Davis. And while this all sounds really important, and I guess it is, there's something you need to remember. No matter what happens to any of these people and whether they're ready or not, we are leaving the EU in March 2019. And the other side, in Brussels, they're watching and waiting, and that deadline's getting closer.